Chapter in the Football Canada headquarters. Good to have you here today, Steve.
Thanks for having me.
For those of you who actually don't know, Steve Sumarah is the Junior National head coach and world champion at that. Actually, in the past summer in Mexico City, they won the World Junior Championships. So I actually want to start with that and touch on that a little bit. How does it feel to win a World Junior Championship with Team Canada?
It was an amazing feeling, especially the way we did it. You know, you're playing the host nation in the final. There was about 30,000 people in the stands, and our guys, you know, what a 2-week experience they had, and to be able to come out and play as well as we did all sort of the whole tournament, and then especially against Mexico in the final, it was an exciting time for sure.
How surprised were you when you actually faced Mexico in the finals? I'm sure you were expecting Team USA, but...
Yeah, and to be honest with you, when we watched the semifinal, the Mexican team was very well coached and very physical and a well-prepared team. And, you know, as the game sort of went on, you were like, wow, this is going to be a formidable task to play these guys, especially at home.
Yeah, for sure. I heard that their defense was something that's really hard to come across, right?
Yeah, like they ran some different schemes on defense, and you know, the offensive coaches did a heck of a job of game planning and putting something together to be able to attack against them. But yeah, overall, you know, just the overall experience was, and to be in Mexico City, a place that a lot of people may not have thought about on their bucket list, it was a pretty impressive city.
Yeah, for sure. Did you get to do a little exploring, maybe see the pyramids or anything?
Yeah, we did actually. We went out and took the guys on a team building expedition, and you know, just a wow experience for those guys to be able to see the temples and the things that they had in Mexico City. It was an amazing experience.
Well, I guess the team building worked. You guys came together and actually pulled through for the championship. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, with any of these things, the faster you can get your team to come together and realize that they're playing for more than just themselves, and it's a bigger with the whole Canada representation, but then just the guys in the room to be able to say, like, you know, we'll go to battle with these guys. It's they did a hell of a job.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that all these players come from all across the country, and 95% of them haven't actually played together. The coaches haven't coached together. So how do you actually prepare a team who's never really had that teamwork together to actually hop on and face a good team?
Yeah, well, I think the big thing was right out of the gate, we set the expectations as a coaching staff and said, you know, like, we're here for, it's a business trip.
Yeah.
You know, we're here to, you know, try to win gold and defend what Coach Craney did, you know, 2 years prior. And I think the guys that were there were very committed to being there and committed to the whole process. With the coaches, you know, after, you know, an hour, it's football.
Yeah.
You know, and guys are in the room and they're just trying to, you know, make it the best experience and have these guys as prepared as possible.
Yeah, for sure. Well, then, kind of moving along in terms of the International Bowl and how that actually relates to World Juniors,
Mm-hmm.
How crucial is the International Bowl for actually looking for players and actually getting those spots in the junior national team?
Yeah, it really matters a lot because, you know, the guys that are representing, you know, obviously these are the all-stars from the Canada Cup. So you're talking about the best guys in the country. And then they, you know, you kind of narrow that down a little bit more. And then to see the best players to play against the U.S. in an international competition, to be able to play, in some of the cases, the first time playing American football, it really helps with the identification of where these guys are going to go and how in the next World Championship there'll be so many of these guys will be a part of that.
I suppose you can always get a good indication of how good a player is, but then until they actually perform on the international stage, just kind of gives you an even better idea as to how well they can play, right?
It sure does, and I think the piece to that is, you know, some guys rise to the occasion in big games, and you know, to be able to now say, hey, we're going to be in AT&T Stadium, which is kind of cool in itself, and then to be able to play against the U.S. National team as well, it really says a lot about, you know, how well these guys will deal with the adversity, because you know, it's not a friendly environment. You know, you're down in you're playing in their home, and in last couple of years the U18s have won, and you know, so there's we're expecting the competition to be incredibly high.
Of course. I actually wanted to backtrack a little bit and actually talk about AT&T Stadium is potentially one of the nicest football stadiums in the world. So, like, how does it feel competing in AT&T Stadium? I know the Jumbotron is massive up in person. So, like, how does that feel for you?
Well, it's overwhelming if you haven't been in there. It can be very overwhelming. The first thing you see is, as you said, the Jumbotron, and it's as big as anything. It's bigger than most stadiums that we play in, and the opportunity to be able to go in there and realize, this is the home of the Cowboys. Like, it's, NFL games are here, big time college bowl games are there, the Cotton Bowl and so on. It kind of gives you, a little bit of the whoa, that feeling like, this is pretty an important and big experience that these guys are going to be living through.
Yeah. And you've done it once before, so like with these kids that are competing, do you kind of get a sense that they're feeling the same way, or like?
Oh yeah, definitely. You just, they bus you underneath into the stadium, and you get right off, and you're into your locker room. It just talks about the vastness of this place, and to be able to go out on the field and just have that sense like, wow, like I'm on, playing on the same field as some of the greats of the Cowboys. It's cool.
Do you like the Cowboys?
No.
no, your team.
Not my guys.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, moving along to the International Bowl specifically, and specifically last year, how do you guys feel like you did last year?
Yeah, honestly, I thought it was a great experience for these guys. The U18s, you talk about coming together as a team. I mean, just the energy and atmosphere that those guys had. I thought the coaching staff, again, it's just a smattering of guys from across the country, and you're trying to bring them together and have that same vision and same goal. I thought it was impressive how they handled it and how they handled the players, and to be able to go out and compete like we did. I mean, some guys made some plays, but it was 40 guys, and all 40 of them contributed in a real positive way.
Of course, yeah. And then you came together and got the win over the U.S., which I find it incredible, because whenever you tell someone that doesn't really have a knowledge of amateur football in Canada, they're like, Team USA would always win, but you'd be surprised, right?
Yeah, and I think it speaks to the development of football in this country. I think we, maybe 20, 30 years ago, we were really far behind, but up to this point, I mean, population aside, it's proven, from the International Bowl to the World Championship, that our guys are able to go out there and compete.
Yeah, exactly. Then, actually, who you're facing, Team USA, let's talk about them for a little bit. I know last year, they're a good team. What are some of their strong suits that you see year to year?
Well, every year, I mean, they're big up front. Like, they have big offensive linemen, or big athletic guys, and speed. You always talk about the speed of the team, and when you're playing them, you have to really neutralize that speed, and sometimes speed versus speed. We'll have some guys this year that will be able to go out there and compete, and we need to take advantage of that.
Yeah. What are you expecting to see this year from Team USA?
A very determined team that will be going after us pretty hard. I think the last couple of years at the U18 level, they were very much like, okay, but we have the U19s. But now with Canada not bringing a U19 team down, they're going to be loading up this team, and I think we're going to face the biggest competition that we've faced in the last few years there.
Well, I say bring it on, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you want to beat the best and you want to play the best, then that's what this country's all about.
Exactly. We're going to beat the best, and that's Canadian football for you.
Exactly.
Let me ask a couple questions about you.
Sure.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite movie? Let's start simple. I mean, it's a hard question, but
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
I've never even heard that. What?
Kevin Costner in the baseball. It's a baseball.
It's a baseball movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could name the 20 football movies I love, but This was one of the first movies that I probably watched about 70 times, and I love the movie.
Nice. Okay. And how about? Do you have a favorite Netflix series or a TV show that you kind of watch? Any recommendations?
Believe it or not, I don't really watch Netflix. I'm yeah, TSN and Sportsnet.
Yeah.
That's what I watch. I'm a big sports fan, and I watch anything on TV. That's that.
Yeah.
I bet you my wife could probably give about 50 different examples of that, but I'm the opposite guy. I'm the guy that's sitting there watching sports.
Yeah. Do you actually watch any football TV shows like?
I like A Football Life.
Yeah.
And the 30 for 30s, those are, phenomenal things that they, the networks put together. And yeah, those would be sort of my biggest ones.
Yeah, they do a really good job on those.
Really good job.
Yeah. Okay, then do you have a favorite CFL and NFL team?
Well, now that I'm in Ottawa, it's pretty obvious you got to cheer for the home team.
Yeah.
NFL, I grew up as a Miami Dolphins fan, and reluctantly still say I'm a Miami Dolphins fan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Reluctantly.
Yeah.
Through the ups and downs.
Yeah, through I was a Dan Marino fan and a fan even before the Dan Marino era. So, yeah, I'm loyal to my team.
Yeah, well, we appreciate the loyalty for sure, yeah. Okay, then, here's a long ball.
Okay.
Do you play any video games at all?
No.
No.
Many years ago,
Yeah.
but not anymore. No.
What do you mean many years ago? Like, is there any classic video games you play? Like Frogger? You like,
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I was I guess I'm dating my age here, but I had Pong. The first one.
That's a throwback. That's
throwback,
the game.
exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So Pong is like the original game.
The original game. Yeah.
What's your go-to thing to do?
Oh, well, having a 10-year-old daughter, she keeps us busy with everything, all the activities she's doing, and I'm like this time of the year. It's I'm a big NCAA fan. I love them. I just love football, and any chance I get to watch any games and on the weekend, yeah, that's it.
Speaking of NCAA, do you have a favorite team in that regard?
Again, loyal guy, grew up as a Notre Dame fan, and
Nice.
excited to see they're probably going to be in the Final Four. So, yeah, I would say that would be.
That's a good team to follow.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes up for the Miami, maybe?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, you get a little victory, a little defeat, kind of
Yeah,
get to be
exactly.
Okay, awesome. Do you have any hobbies or
No. I'm a big tennis fan.
a tennis fan?
Yeah, Roger Federer fan.
Really?
There you go. Fun fact of the day.
Okay, I appreciate that fun fact. So, do you play tennis?
Again, many years ago.
No.
Yeah, and but yeah, no, I watch it extensively.
I know that a lot of tennis fans actually play squash a little bit too.
Yeah.
Do you?
I used to off and on.
Yeah.
Off and on.
Off and on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, awesome. Thank you for that fun fact.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, we really appreciate you actually sitting down in our headquarters and talking through us.
I appreciate being a part of it for sure.
Yeah, well, all I gotta say is good luck down in Texas for the International Bowl. And
Thank you very much.
yeah, bring Canada back another win against a really solid U.S. team.
Well, thank you very much, and we will. Take care.